Hey, welcome to Kodular. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to insert, select, delete, and do a lot of stuff. So, let's get started. This is the default template that you are going to use. Okay, if you want to run any query, this is the requirement. This is what you need. You need all of this. I'm going to put this screen in the description so that you can download it. So you don't need to memorize. I'll put it in the description and you can download it. Okay, so before you can use this library MOP, you have to have a web server. You can use the free web server, which is we have different type of free web server. I'm using free web hosting area. Okay, that's what I'm going to use. So this is my free web hosting area page. Okay, I have all these files there. So this is the website I just built. Okay, so this is just a website template. This is just what you need. We need this app inventor folder. This is just what you need. Okay, so but in most cases you cannot upload a folder after you downloaded it. You cannot upload a folder. If you have the folder, you cannot upload the folder to your web server. Okay, so you have to zip it, then upload it. So you can download the zip file. After you downloaded the zip file, upload it to your web server and unzip if it is not unzip. Okay, so after you unzip it, delete the rest of your files, then leave only the app inventor folder. All the rest you don't need them. You only need the app inventor folder. So after you put the app inventor folder on your directory, so this is my app inventor folder. I've renamed it to mysql. This is the folder. Okay, so this all of the rest is just a text files. Okay, this is the folder from GitHub app inventor folder. I rename it to mysql. Do you understand? Okay, so if I click on it, you see all the files that you need. So you need the index.php and the src So this src is the main file. Okay, is the file that is making everything to work perfectly. So this is the index.php. This is the index.php that you need. Okay, so from app inventor folder, if I go to app inventor folder, you see this mysql.php, then src folder. Still the same thing here. So I just rename it to index.php so that I can have a direct URL to my files. Okay, so if you don't rename this to index.php, then your URL will be app inventor folder or whatever the name of the folder you name it to. Then it will now be /my sql.php. Okay, that means mysql.php. That means you are targeting these files. But once you rename it to index.php, then you don't need any target files, so you can remove it and you have index.mysql your folder. So if you don't rename it, then it will be whatever your path is /mysql.php, which is this. Okay, but if once you rename it to index.php, then you don't need to put /index.php or mysql.php. You just need to put the folder directory and everything will work perfectly. So after you download it to your web server, locate your files. Once you locate your file and you go to the browser, you will see this bad request. Once you see this bad request, that means your files is working. Then you can go to kodular. Once you see this bad request, that means you've successfully download and install MOP. So this URL that gave you the bad request, copy it and let's go to kodular. So this is the kodular. You see this DB URL. Put the URL that gave you the bad request. Okay, put the URL that gave you the bad request. Secret key. So inside this SRC now, we have to configure some things there. You have to configure your database. You have to configure all the rest. You see mop config.php. Okay, you have to configure it, edit it. I'm using free web hosting area. This look does not look familiar. Okay, so you have your host, you have your username, you have your password, you have your database. The injection, okay, the injection is empty. Then you have your master key and you have your SQL key. This SQL key, as you can see, I put MOP, okay, is what you need here as a secret key. Secret key is the same thing as SQL key here. So whatever you put here, you should also put it here, okay, or else your script will not work. So this is just a secret key. So whatever you put here, you should also put it here. Okay, that's all about that. So this all result we'll discuss it about later. This column we'll discuss about later. So this all result, as you can see, is to get the response from your query. It get the response and it will store it there. Don't worry about that for now. So if your query return a result, then response code will be 200. If your query return the number of affected row, maybe you update or you delete or you insert, then response code will be 201. Sure you understand like that. So this for each is the one you need to get column. So any column you want to get, it started from index 1. So whatever the column you want to get, it will be index 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So whatever the column you want to get, you should put the index there from your database. I'll also show you my database, but not now. So this is the procedure that will make you run the query. And this is the query that you will be duplicating all the time that you want, whenever you want to run a query. I will also show you that. So let's go back and do some example. So for each now, if you want to get any column, so I'll show you my database now. So this is my database. Assuming I want to get this username column now, starting from index 1, 2, and 3. So I have 3 columns here. It's not starting from 0. It's starting from 1. Okay. So if I want to get this username column now, it will be index 2. Okay. So then I will change this to index 2. If I want to get username column, I will change this index to 2. Do you understand? So then you can change your list. So you can actually change your list. If I bring this guy here, now, so if I change this to username now, okay, if I change this to username, then you notice my username is index 2. Then I have to change this to index 2. Okay, so I can also duplicate add item to list. If I want to get the password also, I'll do this. So my password is in index 3. Okay, index 3. Then it will also be index 3. So that means this I've gotten my username, so I can duplicate it to store my password that I will get from the database also. So this can be password now. So now I can get my password now. Password. So all of this for each now, you can now put it to whatever, wherever you like. You can put it to, if response code is 200, or you can also put it on top. Okay, you can also put it on top, but you should put it to when response code is 200. That means it's a successful response and you are expecting a result. So if you are expecting a result, then all your logic should be inside under this response code is called 200. So this for each, we store all the username column into the username list. Okay, so it will also store the password into the password list. Don't worry, you can pause the video, go back, watch it again, so that you're able to understand. So we only need this for each to be getting column. Don't get confused. So leave all this length of list just to show the length of the list of the result. And this add item to list will be adding each column, each row. It will be adding into whatever the index you choose. If you choose the wrong index, then you will receive an error. Okay, so let's continue. So this is my designer part. Okay, I'll come back to the master key and the rest. So this is my designer part. So first of all, let's try and run a pure query. Okay, let's try and run a pure query. So this will be my pure query. We are going to do some sign up and login, okay, and also a pure query. So let's continue. To run a pure query now, I have to get my button. Whenever my button is being clicked, pure query button, okay, whenever it's being clicked. So you can also do it for maybe any button is being clicked, maybe sign up and login. You just keep duplicating the run query procedure. So if you want another button to be clicked, okay, you just duplicate this and your query will be here and stuff like that. Okay, so we need a text box, which is this. So I will type the query. After I type the query, instead of writing the query in my app, I want to, inside my block, I want to write the query inside the text box. Okay, I want to write the query inside the text box so you can see it and we will manipulate things. So text box, copy one text. Okay, I will replace it with this. So this is just a pure query. We are still going to do some sign up and login. So let me delete this. Okay, so after we click a button now, whatever our query is going to run it. Okay, run a query. This key you see is your secret key that you've already defined here. Okay, and this is your query text box text. Then it will get our query, whatever we type inside our text box, it will get it and run it. Okay, we are not binding parameter yet. We just want to run a pure query. So whenever you run a query, then this web will get the result. Okay, but first of all, I want to show you all the response first before we get a column, each column that we want to get. So let me just click on pure. You see pure query response label. So it's the one that will show our response text. I want to get the text. If our response is 200, that is a successful select statement. Okay, we want to get the response content. I want to show you the response content. A CSV is returned. Okay, that's all we need for now. So whenever I click on run pure query, we'll get a response. Whatever our response is, we'll got it. If our response is 200, okay. So let's try and connect. Okay. Okay, I'm going to resume the video after our connection is successful. Okay, the connection is successful. So run pure queries at the bottom. Our response will be here. Okay, so I'm going to run a pure query here. So let me just show you the simple select statement. Select, I'm going to select everything. Okay, select all from my table name is MOP. Okay, so run. Okay, as you can see, this is all the response. I'll also show you in the database. So you see, we have column 1 to 8 ID. We have username row 1, username row 2, and also the password. So now let's try and get a particular column to see how it's working. So when I set the pure query response label to get all the response content, this is all the response content. Then now I want to get a particular column, which is username column. So, or password column. Okay, password column. So to get the password column now, I will just put is on top. Okay, I'll just put it on top of this of the label. Let me clean the block. Okay, I'll just put it on top of the label. Oh, I must put the for loop also with it. I must put the for loop. Sure you understand. I must put the for loop also with it. So you must put the for loop. It's the for loop that will make all our column in one place. Okay, so just put this one at the bottom here. So this is our pure query and this is all our results. Now instead of getting response content, I want to get the username alone. So as to show you how you can dynamically get some things. So username alone. If I run this again now, see we got all the username in our list. Okay, now you can loop through this list and get each row. So you can also get the password now. You can get the password. Okay, if I run this again now, you see this is the password. Do you understand now? Password row 1, password row 8. Okay, you can also get the username. Then you use for loop again to get each, or I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Okay, as you can see, this are my column of the username, or the username alone. So if you want to get a row 1 now, when you are using select all, then you are going to use this block of select statement of list. Select list item. Okay, you are going to select list item, then whatever the row you want to get, you put it there. So you are going to use select list item. If you want to get a particular row now, select list item. Okay, Okay, so our list, I want my username now. Username list. Okay, so username list. If you want to get the row 3, then you just put the 3 there, the index 3 that you want to get. Do you understand now? If I run this again now, I should get my 3 username row 3. So if you want to get, I have 1 to 8, right? If I want to get row 6, for instance now, I'll just change it to 6 and I will run it again. And you get the row 6. It's very simple. Do you understand? So all of this is already there. You have to use for loop, and each column you want to get, you create a list for it, and you select the list starting from 1 to whatever your column is. Do you understand? So that's all about pure query. Okay, now let's do some limit. Okay, go to your web server now. Go to your MOP configuration, which is this. Okay, go there now. We'll edit it. So now put some column that you don't want anybody should run. Do you understand? In this injection. So me now, okay, so I don't want anybody should run a query that has my user password. Okay, I don't want anybody should run it. Okay, remember we want to put our injection, that is, we don't want anybody should run a query that has our injection. So if I change this to password now, I change it to password. Okay, so if I save it, if I come here now and put my query there, my query that has the password, if I paste my query that has the password, you'll notice I put our injection here, password, that is, I don't want anybody should run a query that I want to collect, that I want to get the password of my user. So I've put it here. If I run the query, so because I'm expecting just a column here, I'm going to disable this because I'm expecting just a column. You will notice if I want to get column 2 username, column 1 username, so is the order of your query. You will notice I'm selecting password now. That means this password have an order of 1 now. So that means the password has the index 1. So if you put comma here now and put comma and put username, so you are selecting password and username. So in this order now, password has an order of 1 and username has an order of 2. But if you are selecting everything from your database using star, that is, you have to select using star, you have to select in the order of your column in your database, in this order. So ID has an order of 1, username 2, password 3. But if you are just getting just a column or 2 columns out of your database, then your order must be in the order of your select. Do you understand? Anyway, this thing has freeze. Anyway, let's continue and run our query. So if I run this query now, as you get, you don't have permission, you may not have the permission to run this query. Do you understand? Because we've put our injection here inside our injection. So you can also put as many table, columns, database, as many as you like. So if you want to add another one now, if you want to add another one, just put inside a string username. username, close your string, and put comma at the back, then save it. So now I want to then save it. So this will also block any query that want to collect the username of your user. So the username of your user. So I think this is this simple way of running a query. I've teach you the simple way of running a pure query now. Okay, so let's get started and do some signing up and logging in. If you don't understand, you can actually reverse or go back the video, watch again, and do you understand? Do you understand? Okay, so let's quickly do some signing up and logging in. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to go back and re-explain some things. So in this signing in now, we are going to bind some parameter, which what you have been waiting for. Okay, I've shown you how to stop a query that has your table name, database. You can put as many things here. Do you understand? You can put as many columns, database, anything there. So let's go do some signing up and signing in. Okay, so I don't normally run a query, pure query, when I want to do signing up, signing in, because if you want to do a signing up, you will first insert, then you get a response back saying if the signing is successful, if the signing up is successful or is failed or something like that. So I normally use a procedure or a function, mysql procedure or function, to do some logic, a complex logic for signing up and logging in. So on my next video, I'm going to show you why it's important for you as an app developer. When you are using a kodular, you should start using a procedure in your app. I will show you the reason on my next video. The reason, I'm going to hack my app, and I'm going to show you how I stop using kodular. How I stop using procedure or a function. I'll build an app and I'll hack it, then I will stop it, the hacking. Okay, so I'm going to show you that on my next video. So why you should start using procedure. So now we want to sign up now. So I will need sign up button. When sign up button is being clicked, I will just duplicate this. Okay, when sign up button is being clicked, sign up button is being clicked. So we want to run a query now. First of all, I will prepare my query, my procedure in my SQL now before I put the query here. So let me go to my SQL now. I want to insert first. So I'll just go to what is it called? I'll go back here, home, and I'll create a routine. I'll go back home. Okay. So after I go back home, I'm going to click the database where my table is, which is come on, which is this MOP. So I'm going to click this. So you see routine. Okay, maybe it's the more routine. You see this routine, click on it. Okay, I don't have the permission to run a routine in this because I'm using free hosting. I don't have permission to run a routine in this database. But don't worry, I can switch my database. It's alright. I can switch my database to this place. So I'll just click on this database. I'm going to create a routine. Everybody have the ability to create a routine. Okay, I'm going to create a routine here. So I already have some routine here. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to create another routine which we select from this database. Do you understand? So I'm going to move this table now. I'm going to move it to this another database because they did not give me the permission to run a routine in this my new database. Do you understand? So I'm going to move this MOP back to this where all of these are, so that I will be able to create a routine for this table. So let me quickly do that. Okay, I've changed my database. You should also change your database in your config file. So whenever you change your database, just change it in your config file so everything will work perfectly. So now I can create a routine now. So I'm just doing this as an example. When most of you are going to use a paid hosting, okay? So you have ability to do to run a routine in any database, but they only give me this database to do a routine. So that's why I need to change my database. So I'll just show you guys. So create a routine. I'm going to create a procedure in this my routine. So it's very simple, okay? It's just nice normal select statement. MOP sign up. This will be the name of my routine for signing up. MOP sign up. I'll have I need to get the username and password of the user, because whenever they want to sign up, I just need their email or their username and password. That's just a simple sign up I want to do. So I'll add to now in both of them are in. I'll just make this one as P username. You can give it any name as you like. Do you understand? And this one will be P password. So type will be voucher. This one will be voucher, and this one will be 255. This one will also be 255. Okay, now let's just begin. This one will have contain SQL. So you just begin with begin and end. Okay, if you want me to teach you how to do some logic procedure, then you can also comment in the comment section, then I'll make the video about it. Do you understand? Okay, begin. So we just want to, first of all, we need to check if the username is already in our database. Do you get? So if you are not using a procedure, then you have to write a lot of block of if statement in your app. If you are not using procedure, you have to write a lot of if statements in your app. But for me, I can easily dynamically change anything as I like in my database without updating my app if there's any problem. So first of all, I need to select just the maybe username. I need to select just the username from MOP. So I need to select it into something, then I will check it. It's like creating a variable in kodular. So I will just click declare. Okay, declare variable username. So that's why I'm putting capital V. Call. Then the length, I'll just put 255. Then the default. Then the default is an empty string. Then close it. So now here I've declared a variable. So I'm going to select into this variable now. Select into the variable v username. If you know how to do your if statement very well in your kodular, you can use kodular. but I'm just showing you this. Okay, I'm just showing you this. You can actually do anything with the scripts. I've shown you how to get the data, how to do some stuff. How to get the data is the one that is important. You can get the data, you can do some stuff. So let me just continue. Then I'm going to check if our variable is empty. If our variable is empty, then we can insert the user data. If variable user is equal to empty, then we can do some insert statement. Insert into mop. Okay, so the username first, then password second. So values, then it will be our p username that we got from our user, comma, then p password that we got from our user. Then close it with semicolon. That's it. So we are going to put an else here also. Else, we are going to say select user already exists. Okay, so close it. Then we are going to end our end if. Close it. So yeah, after inserting, we should also select sign up success. I'll just put success there. Just put success. Okay, so that's it. We've declared a variable username. We select username into our variable just to check if the username actually exists. Okay, from mop, where it has not finished, where username is equal to p username. I'm very sure you are familiar with this type of statement. Okay, so this type of statement is very simple. Sorry about that. So select username into variable username from mop. This is my table name, where username is equal to p username. This is what you are getting from our user. So if our username is empty, then we are going to insert. Also, we are going to return a success. Else, we are going to return user already exists and we'll close it. That's all. So this now, our user cannot see what we want to do with our username and password. So I'll just click on go. Leave this, it automatically inserts. I'll just click on go. So this is mop sign up. Now I cannot come to kodular now. When sign up button is click, we are going to use some join. Okay, so we join our query with our input. So it will be like this. Our query will be call mop sign up. Then we are going to bind. So this is where you have been waiting for. So it will be call because I'm using procedure, that's why I'm using call instead of select. Call mop sign up. So it will have a bracket with this colon. So let me increase the font so that you can see things better. Okay, so I'm going to, after I do this now, I'm going to, text box 1 is my username. So I should just copy this safe. Oh, come on. Okay, text box 1 is my username in text box. So we are going to join it with comma. Okay, so it's like running a, what is it called? Running a normal statement. Okay, remember we want to bind, so I'm going to remove this now. Remember we want to bind, so since I want to bind now, then let's do this. I've forgotten, I just remembered I want to bind. So you put a question mark, then comma, another question mark, then close it. This is your query. This is your query. This is your query. Question mark, because our anything to stop an injection, mysql injection, the script is capable of. So you just put question mark, then we are going to pass it separately. Do you understand? So now we are going to add another make a list. Let me reduce it. So another make a list, everything, the documentation is in kodular. So make another list. This is our query. We've passing our query separately just to stop the injection, mysql injection. I'll duplicate this. Okay. Let me copy this and move this. So now instead of query now, it will be param with a square bracket. It will be param with a square bracket, 2 square brackets. Okay. So you have to pass in the order of your param. The order. So now I have my order text box 1, which in my username is the first. So I'm passing the text box 1 first. Okay. So I'm going to add another param, which is for my password, for the user password. Param. Okay. So I'll duplicate this also. It will also be whenever you want to bind, you bind with question mark and you use param. This param, then you pass the user input. Okay. So this one will be text box 2, which is my password. So this is all about everything. This is my query, call MOP. You can also do some select statement. Whenever you want user input, you put question mark there, then you will bind using param, then you pass in the user input there. So let me quickly check my designer part to confirm if text box 1 is my username and text box 2 is my password. Let me confirm that. So I have text box 1, text box 2. Okay, correct. So let's test our stuff now. Okay, not yet. We are not testing yet. Let me reduce the font a little bit. So whenever we run the query, we are expecting a result, right? So our result will be inside this response 200. Inside this response 200. So let me just move this. If you notice, I'm only expecting just a column. Just a column. I will show you again. If I click on edit, I'm only expecting just a column. So not just a column. Select success and select user already exists. Just a single column. Sure you understand. So we are going to put that into for each also. Let me remove this. Let me delete this. I can duplicate it later. I'm expecting just a column. So now instead of password now, I will just change this to, instead of password, I will change it to sign up response. Let's sign up. You can perform different type of logic as you want. Let's sign up. So let's sign up. Okay. So I'm getting index 1 because I'm only expecting just a column. That's why the index is 1 now. So I'll just put it here. I'll put it here. So it will go to my response. So let me clean up my blocks. Okay. So remain our logic. Okay, it remain our logic. So we are going to do some if we are going to select our statement here. If we are going to use logic is equal to, we need this. If select list item, we need to select the list item. It's just a column and it only has just a row. Just a column and it's just a row. So that's why it will be 1, 1. Don't worry, just practice, rewind the video and you understand. Let me increase the font again. So if select list item red sign up, that is our sign up response is equal to success. Is equal to success. So you notice I put success here, success, okay, and user already exists. So we also do the same thing here. If our response is equal to success, if our response is equal to success, then we are going to alert that user, you can, then if the sign up is successful, you can do your own logic, maybe go to another page or something like that. But for me, just for this video, I'm just going to alert that sign up successful or just simple success. Okay. Oh, come on. Oh, sorry. Okay, I've gotten it. So we are going to alert success. I'm still going to alert this again. So else, if it's not equal to success, then that means user already exists. Okay, so else we are going to alert so user already exists. user already exists. Okay, so I will also show it on the respond label so that you can see it when the show alert has gone. So sign up rest label, sign up rest label. I'm going to do this, duplicate, put it here, duplicate, and put it here also. I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, now you can now put, since we've gotten our logic now, then you can now put it after this for each, just the under, just under. Let me clean up the block, just under. So sometimes you may be doing a lot of things and this will get rough. Okay, so let's just create a procedure so that our stuff will be neater. Let's just create a procedure. Do. Let's just create a procedure of do. Let's call it sign up. Sign up. Okay, now let's move all of our statements, all of our logic here. Then let's call the procedure. Let's call the sign up here. I think that's simple, right? That's very simple. So all our logic is in the sign up and we just call the sign up. Now let's test. Okay, so connect to companion. So okay, okay. So I'm going to show you my table, all my table names. So this is MOP. So I have username row 1, password row 1. So let's get that. Okay, so this is the statement. So let's first create a user already exists. Okay, so username row 1, then our password is password, just anything, because we are only checking for this username which already exists in our database. So let's click on sign up. As you can see, user already exists. So with limited logic in our app, we are able to do simple login and sign up. So this is our logic now. So if I change my username now to my username, okay, so if I now click on sign up now, as you can see, it still shows user already exists. That means our logic still remains something. So we need to clear our response. We need to clear it to an empty list again. We need to clear it to our empty list again. So that whenever user type anything, it will be an empty list again so that we can select from index 1 again. So just create an empty list again. But if I check now, before I refresh, if I check now, we should have an insert statement with our password, which is 9. Okay, you will notice you say username already exists, so we have to clear our response sign up again so that it will be empty list. So whenever they type the username that already exists, we need to clear it to the empty list again. So you understand? So that is the reason, because this is actually adding to, the reason is because when for each is running, it's actually adding item to the list. So here now we now clear the list. After we are done, we clear the list to create an empty list again. So now if I try again, and if I now type my username now, if I click on sign up, I just see a success. So now if I go to my database now, if I refresh, wait for it. So this is it, number 10 AZZ, and this is the password. So it's very simple to create a login and sign up page. So now I want to do one more thing. You see this for each. This for each is for response sign up. So let's just move it to response sign up then, so that our code, our block will be neater. Let's just move this here. Okay, and let's move this here. Okay, that's it. Let me delete this. So our code is neater now. So this for loop, we be adding each row into the response sign up. Then we are going to check for the first index. Then if it is equal to success, then we show alert. Then you can perform your complex logic here, maybe go to another screen or do some stuff. Else we are going to do another logic. User already exists. So that's very simple sign up and login. You see, it's a sign up now. If I click on sign up again, it changed to user already exists. So now I can do a lot of logic in my database without updating my app. For a success, I just know that I must select a success. So I can do another complex logic, delete, verified user in my database, do a lot of stuff. But my output must be success, so that my app will do the success logic, and else user already exists. So now let's quickly do the login now. Login. So login is very simple the login is similar to this. We just need we need to get the username and password as well. Then we'll get the login. So I'll just copy all of this. We need all of this also. We need all of this. We'll just copy it, and I'll create another new one. Let me minimize this. So I'll say MOP login. I hope you are enjoying the video. It's not hard. So the same thing, username and password, but this time it's for login. So I'll just paste everything here. So we'll also do the same thing, but yeah, it will be changed. if our variable username is empty, therefore we will say user does not exist, or username or password is incorrect. Let's just make it simple. I'll just make it simple. I will say username or password is incorrect. Okay, one more thing before this. The reason why we are binding, I want to perform an injection now. So I'll delete. I'll come back to this. I want to show you the injection. So I want to clear this. My password, I want to make it an SQL query. You can perform your SQL query, do a lot of stuff. I will just say, okay, let me just put drop. Assuming I guess the name of my table now, drop MOP. So let me delete this so that you can insert. Drop MOP, drop table MOP. Okay, or yeah, drop database. MOP. Okay, now if I click on sign up now, success. If I refresh, you see all of this will be my password. That's very, you see, all of this will be my password. That is the reason why you should be binding parameter. It's very simple, right? So there's no more any injection in what? There's no more injection again in your app. Do you understand? There's no more injection. So now all of this, no matter how they try to run SQL injection, now you can successfully bind your parameter. This is it. You can bind your parameter. So this is it. You can bind your parameter and do a lot of stuff. Call MOP. You use question mark, another question mark for each user input. Then you bind it using param box. Then the user input, you put it there. That's all. No more injection. So back to our sign up. I just quickly show you the reason why you should be binding rather than normal statement. Okay, so MOP login. Back to our login page. So now, if it's empty, it will return, what is it called? Password or username already exists. So if our variable username is empty, we output username or password is incorrect. Do you understand? Or let's just make it like this. Error. Let me just put error here. Error. Okay, yeah, error. So now, if our variable username is not empty, then we are going to select the variable password. Okay, password that is inside our database. So we are going to change this to password now. Change this to password. Okay, we are selecting password. We are selecting password into variable password. I hope you are understanding it. Into variable password from MOP, my table name, where username is equal to p username that I got from the user. So p username. So we'll get the password from our database. Now, if variable password is equal to empty, that is, our statement does not see any user inside our database, then we will return an error else we are going to verify the password. We are going to return the password new. So let me click on go. We are going to return the password and we are going to verify it in our database. So now let me go to our database. Let me reduce this. Let me minimize this. So I'm going to duplicate this because they look alike. Okay. I will clean out the block. So instead of sign up, it will be login now. Login btn. Login btn. Our key is still key. Our query we have changed. So call mop login. Call mop login. So we are still binding. So inside our mop login, our button has changed. Our text box has changed. So it will be text box copy and copy 1. Text box 2 copy. Okay. I think that's it. Pure query is copy 1. So copy. Okay. This is it. So now we are going to perform another logic here also, called a procedure sign up. I will duplicate this and it will be for login. It will be for login. So let me clean out the block. So I'll just put login here. Login. So here I will create another list. I will duplicate this. It will be res login. Okay. Just to identify each of them. Rest login. Okay now. So add item to list. I will change it to login for the login. Then we need to check rest login. So now we need to check. Remember, we need to check if now instead of using success here, we need to check if the response is equal to the password that the user typed. You can actually use a encrypted password and verify the password. Any logic that you want, you can use it, but I'm just creating a simple logic here. So I'm going to bring the text box 2, which is this. I'm going to duplicate this and move it. So I'll now move it here. If is equal, we are going to say login successful. If our response here is equal to our response here, then we are going is equal to the user password that they typed. If the response from the database is equal to the user password that they typed. So we allow success and I will show alert success and our label will be login success. Okay. I'll click on enter, login success. So else username or password already exists. So I'll just change my allow to fail. Failed. And here will be username or password is incorrect. username or password is incorrect. So to update user as well, it's very simple. If you want to update a user, you just change your statement to update statement, then where you need to collect the user input, you put a question mark there and you bind. Okay, so now let me reconnect and test our login. Let me delete this. Let me delete this. Let me delete this. Okay, let's reconnect. It's a long video. Thank you for watching. It's a very long video. I really appreciate you if you watch from the beginning to the end. I will really appreciate you. So let's test our login. Okay, so my username, okay, no, not there, is here. Login button is here. Login response is here. So I'll just change this to login response. That's a mistake. Login res. And this also login res. Okay, so my name, the username, I even forgetting my password. Okay, let me just type any password to see and click on login. Oh, sorry, we haven't done one thing. So login, we're supposed to finish it up here. Call sign up. We should also call login. We also call login. So you will notice there's a logic here that we should actually do some logic. So to do the logic, you notice if I click, it's showing user already exists, which is not supposed to be. Username already exists. So to avoid that, we are going to create simple logic. We are just going to verify. Simple is a simple logic. So I'll just call it sign up. I will delete this. Then the logic will be false. False. Okay, it's just a simple logic. False. Then I will also do it for login also. I will clean out the block. I will also do it for login also. Login. So now whenever we click a button, we are going to set it to true. So set login. Sorry. I hope you are getting it. I'm going to set it to true. So let's move it down where our login is. Login btn. Whenever it's being clicked, we'll set it to true. Okay, as well as for sign up also, we'll set it for sign up, we'll set it to true too. Then after we've gotten our response, we'll set it back to false. So this will be for sign up for true. So let me clean up that's a mistake. Damn it. Let me clean out the block. So now let's go to web. Now we'll check. We'll perform a if statement here now. We'll check if the button click is login or sign up, just to avoid the error. So let me just duplicate this. I will delete this. I will clean out the block. So I will just check if our sign up is being clicked. If sign up is true, that is our sign up is clicked, then we are going to set it to false back. It's very simple, right? Just about logic. So we are going to set it to false back. Sign up. We are going to set it to false. Then we also do the same thing for login. Else, if do you understand? Hope you are getting it. So I'll duplicate this. Then I'll choose login. If our login is true, that is, if we click on login button, then we are going to set it false back. So login. Okay, now we are going to put each of them to their respective places. So login, go to login, then sign up, we go to sign up. I think it's very simple, right? Then we are going to clean out the blocks. So if I hope it will work, or else I will reconnect. Let me see. You see, username or password is incorrect, failed. So thank God it's working. So I'll just change my password in my database to simple password. I'll just change it to pass. So now, if I clear all this one now and I change to pass, if I now click on login, wait for the respond, failed again, something is not right. So let me cross check and see what is not right. Actually, it's because of the connection that fails. So if I click on it now, so username and password is incorrect. So if I type the correct password now, then I'll see a login success. So it's because of the connection that failed. That's why I got an error before. So everything is working. password, if I type the correct password, if I type the wrong password, so that's all about signing up and logging in. So it's very simple. Let me recap what I've done since. So before, at the beginning, I showed you the default blocks that you need to run a query, right? And I also show you how you can import all your files into your server, right? Then you notice I changed some things so that I can get my SQL without the .php or whatever at the back of it. So you can also do the same thing. So that's why I have a bad request here. Then you can see in my query, I've shown you how to. So I show you how to run a query. So for a poor query, just a simple query. If you want to bind, use question mark and bind. It's very simple, right? So that's all. That's all. So remain one more thing. So 201, whenever you update or you delete or you do something like that. So let me quickly do it. Then the response code will be 201. Then you can perform your logic here also, maybe update successful or anything else. But for me, instead of this, I would rather use a procedure to update my data. Then I will bring a response of success or failed using a procedure to update also. So if you like the video and you want me to do some update logic, also a simple update logic and stuff, you can comment that. Then I'll do some simple updates here. On simple update for the procedure, we are going to create a simple update procedure and some stuff. So I think you've gotten the logic and the rest. So if you don't really understand the logic, go back to the video and rewind it and check it again. It's very simple. The most important is binding of parameter, and you've gotten it. And I also showed you the blocking of some query in mopconfig.php. So if I run a pure query that has password or username, it's going to be blocked. Okay, but if you want to run a query that has your injection exception, so you are going to use your master key. That's the usefulness of your master key. So if you want to run a query that has this exception, this password, let me quickly show you that. So we are going to use pure query. So let me show you that. So we are going to use pure query. So let me paste it. So if I run it now, oh sorry, the logic, I've removed the logic. So pure query, when pure query get a response, I've removed the logic here. As you can see, I've removed the logic here. So let me just put else here, just to show you how you can do some. So I'm going to put an else here. Then I'll copy this. I'll copy this just to show you. Okay, I'll copy this. I'll put it here. I'll put it here. Then whatever the response is, I will get it. I'll delete this. Just to show you, we don't need response code. Okay, we just need this actual response content. We need this actual response content. Okay, so now if I refresh, if I run it again now, okay, let me see what's wrong. Okay, okay, so now if I run this query now, I should get the response here. Okay, to actually pre-login, sorry, there's a mistake here. So if I click on login now, as you get, you may not have permission to run this query because it has our password that we have put a limit here. That we have put a limit here. So now if I now put this master key, which is the key, I'll just need to put space. I just need to put space and put a key there. Key. So now if I now run this query now, I should get all the password. Okay, actually you cannot get the password like this. Sorry. So you have to pass the parameter now. Everything is in kodular. Okay, so query, pure query, then you have to make a list again. Then you should only do this from your admin app. Maybe you want to run a query that has sensitive data. Sure, you understand? So you have to put this and duplicate this, paste it, and instead of query to be master key, to be master key. Master key. Do you understand? So master key to now be key. Master key to be key. I'll delete this. Let me remove this. So if you pass the wrong master key, you still don't have the permission. So I'll just remove this. Actually, it's supposed not to be part of your query. That's a mistake. So it will be key, just the key. Just pass the key. So that's your master key. So now run the query again. I'm not sure if it is master key or something. I will check the documentation if it's wrong. So I'll just run the query again. So I think it's wrong. I'll quickly check the documentation to get the actual master key parameter. Okay, I've checked the documentation. Is master key does not have this underscore. Oh, shit. It does not have this underscore. Okay. So everything is in the kodular. It does not have this underscore. So if I check the kodular, so everything is in the kodular. So to get the master key, it does not have the underscore. This is it. So key now, I'll need to refresh this. I'll need to refresh this. So I've reconnected. So now this is the master key. So if I run this query now, I should get my password, all the password. As you can see, I've got all the password. If this master key is wrong, okay, if this master key is wrong, if the master key is wrong, so if I run this query again now, you may not have the permission to run this query. So whenever you have a query that has your injection, that you've put your injection there, you have to pass your master key as a parameter to get such a query. Do you understand? So we've done, I think I've really passed through almost everything. If not everything, then if you want more, I think this is like almost 2 hours of video. Then if you really like the video, you can comment, then I will make another video. Don't forget, I'm making a video of a function. Why you should start using a function in your app. I will hack my app that I built. I'm going to hack it, and I'm going to use the function. I'll show you how my app can be easily be hacked if I'm using a normal statement. Then I'm going to avoid it by using a procedure, how we did the sign up and login. That is the procedure. In that way, it is impossible to hack such a statement. Do you understand? Okay, now I think we've really gone so far. Let me see again what we need to do. I think that's it. I've mentioned how to bind parameter. I've mentioned how to do the master key, and I've also mentioned how to get a column and how to get a row. I think we've really done so far. Yeah. If you like this video, thank you very much for watching. Thank you. Have a nice day.